So one of the points I'm making is that Guyana is now the fastest growing economy in the world. And the question I'm asking is, are we seeing that? Is the ordinary person seeing that? Is the business picking up in Guyana based on the oil and gas sector?
I must say to you, yes, it is happening, but we have to have a mindset of change. And why we have to have mindset of change? Because the oil and gas industry have a different way they operate. The culture of the oil and gas industry is about safety, it's about people's first, it's about you becoming disciplined.
Poor prop leaders, this is the eastern end of Charlotte Street. Now Guyana has become one of the fastest growing countries in the world. In fact, the fastest growing country in the world. And that's because of oil and gas. And in this preview, I'm going to show you why. The reason is that Exxon has brought more than $4 billion in investment to the country, and most of the businesses like the parts store here have made a hard pivot to the oil and gas industry. At the corner there used to be a store that sold motorcycles, has now been bought over by another company, Howie, now a Chinese company. As you can imagine, they're also going to make a hard pivot to oil and gas. Just next door, there's Atlas Security, and across the street, there's a hotel. So these are the businesses that are taking over the city because of the oil and gas industry. At this corner, which is Ornock Street and Charlotte Street, there used to be a furniture store and a couple of television companies. As you can imagine, very soon they're all going to make this hard pivot to oil and gas. So oil and gas is bringing us hardware stores that feature or that sell or cater to the oil and gas industry. Previously, this store, for example, catered to the mining industry. Japarks was a mining store that sold goods for the mining industry. Now they're still selling goods for the oil and gas industry. Another hardware store, the Hardware Depot, is emerging. A lot of security companies emerging because there's now added or demand for security given the amount of money floating around in the economy. Right, this is used to be a hardware store. Now you see they're selling oil and gas hardware, particularly portion. It is?
Were you doing a YouTube?
Yeah, I'm making a YouTube video about oil and gas industry.
Yes, service the oil and gas industry.
You want to talk a little about it?
Sure, no problem.
Alright, so what is your name?
Hi, good morning. Bonnie Singh is my name.
And what's the name of this company?
The Hardware Depot.
And so I'm talking about Guyana making a hard pivot to the oil and gas industry. You notice up the street, the Japard store, which services the mining companies, is now servicing oil and gas. And this is one of the streets in which the pivot to oil and gas is most noticeable. So tell me what's happening here, what used to happen before, and what is happening now.
So we are in business for the past 20 years, and the Hardware Depot is a company which services the industry. So before the oil and gas industry, we used to do GPL, Guyana Water Inc., and part of the mining industry. Everything safety we do. We as well work with Granger. As you can see, we're an authorized Granger representative.
So what is Granger?
Granger is a company in the United States which sells 7 million SKU items to the industry. Whether it's
The oil and gas industry?
the oil and gas, every industry that you can think about.
Hardware industry.
Hardware industry, occupational health and safety, and I can go on to name many more.
So what is it that you sell now to the oil and gas industry?
Everything safety. So we're very good at safety
So
footwear.
personal safety, yeah.
PPE, personal protective equipment, as you can see it right up there. PPE, personal protective
And I
equipment.
noticed, yeah, you got footwear too.
Footwear, yes. So everything safety is our main stocking, but we also order stuff that they need. You know, logistically, we handle some of the logistics for the oil and gas industry.
So one of the points I'm making is that Guyana is now the fastest growing economy in the world. And the question I'm asking is, are we seeing that? Is the ordinary person seeing that? Is the business picking up in Guyana based on the oil and gas sector?
I must say to you, yes, it is happening, but we have to have a mindset of change. And why we have to have mindset of change? Because the oil and gas industry have a different way they operate. The culture of the oil and gas industry is about safety, it's about people's first, it's about you becoming disciplined. And the only way the ordinary man can get into the industry is by educating himself and making his business compliant to the oil and gas industry. As you would know, this is one of the first business in Guyana which is ISO certified, which is International Standard Organization at 9001.
Yeah.
You know, so this is what makes us steps apart from the other rest of local content. And I am brave enough to take that jump start. And I would encourage my fellow Guyanese to make themselves disciplined in the industry so they could be a part of the industry. It's so much that all of us can have a part of it. As a Guyanese, I believe that we have the willpower. It's just that we need to show each other the willpower. And I would say, just study the oil and gas industry and you will be.
So guys, that's what's happening here. There's definitely a pivot, a hard pivot to the oil and gas sector, and the pivot is occurring in a number of areas, from accommodation to direct hardware supplies, as well as towards food and entertainment, food and hospitality. So all of Guyana is now pivoting to service the oil and gas industry, and what is absolutely transforming the country is this inflow of capital from ExxonMobil. Want to see more content like this? Click like and subscribe. In the comments below, tell me what you think about the changes happening in Guyana. Share this video with friends and family. Let people know what's happening here in Guyana. Later!